How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews. Super effing pumped for this mother effer. Look, I'm trying to stop cursing. What can I say? Not really. Fuck that shit. Anyway, yeah, super pumped for this for a couple different reasons. I dig me some Nod Hill. I had a couple of their beers when they first kind of opened. They were a little hit or miss for me, but the last several ones I have been absolutely fantastic. And one of the big reasons why I dig what they do is that they don't do pretty much what everybody does all the time, at least beer-wise, which is just hazy, pastry stout, and all that stuff. And they'll definitely throw some kind of OG status beers out there, and that's what this one kind of flirts with. Again, it's called Ace of Wands. It is a Trappist-inspired single ale. Now, it says Trappist-inspired, using the correct verbiage there. You don't want to just say a Trappist beer, because they'll get all their panties in a bunch over there and over here in the States, considering we have our own Trappist brewery. But yeah, let's dive into this sucker. It's one of my favorite styles of all time. It says the flagship of our Trappist inspired beers, Ace of Wands mingles herbal hop aroma, spicy yeast character, and dry malt finish for a flavorful quenching drink. The recipe was designed to create an ideal beer for day-to-day consumption in Tarot. The Ace of Wands is an invitation to move in the direction of your instincts with inspiration and enthusiasm that comes with a new pursuit. This is one of the first beers we brewed in the early days on our palate system, and we named it in spirit of the excitement and optimism. It is our hope that you enjoy it in the same spirit. Yeah, it is 5% alcohol by volume, and it is a chugger. This is what quintessential chugger for me. Belgian singles, like I said, are some of my favorite styles. They tend to bring a lot to the table with a very low ABV. A lot of the flavors can be subtle because that's how Trappists roll. But yeah, we'll see what's what. So let's dive in. First things first, label-wise, I kind of dig it. It's got that tarot card kind of vibe to it, and something about that kind of mashup of the new school kind of art design with the little bit of a Burlington Brewing Company kind of pinstriping vibe works for me, even though it's very Burlington-esque. I dig it, and as far as Belgian singles go, that's spot on, because that's exactly what you want from these beers. And that's the funny thing, you talk about all these hazy beers nowadays. Well, hazy beers existed way before New England style hazies. Wheat beer are OG, but so are these. Belgian singles tend to have this nice soft haziness to it, unfilteredness. It just has this vibrant glow to it, just screams summer. The way it looks, it's just pretty, man. That beautiful white head kind of crumbling down on top of itself, and that just rich, vibrant yellow hue. Yeah. Let's get a nose. Yeah, it comes off... Belgian singles usually come off as a slightly kind of malty, Pilsner malty, maybe even slightly doughy kind of graininess, with a little bit of Belgian yeasty characteristics. That's typically what I can get in there. Sometimes you actually get a little bit of hop impact from the nose, too. But here in the States, that usually is few and far between, considering those small beers typically had to travel in non-refrigerated, brutal containers. So you weren't getting the kind of essence of what the beer is supposed to be from the get. This is kind of somewhere in between a Belgian single and a light wheat kind of beer, because I am getting those kind of those soft wheat vibes. There has to be wheat in here. If there's not, that's really weird. But I am getting a little bit of that subtle bubblegum banana ester. Not that those are foreign to Belgian singles, but this is like a kind of somewhere in between both of those two. Yeah, there's a soft, like spicy, but not like peppery spiciness to the yeast too. It comes off a little bit saison-y. Again, these are all things you can attribute to a lot of different Belgian yeast to begin with. It's almost like a spice that you would find in like a spice rack of spices that you don't typically use. Like, I'm having a hard time pinning one down, but it has a soft kind of cardamom kind of spiciness to it. And, yeah, it smells nice. Let's dive in. Cheers. Yeah, it's tasty. It really does come off on the nose like somewhere in between a wheat beer and a Belgian single. It drinks. Every square inch of it drinks like a Belgian single. It has this... tight. It's the word I'm looking for. Tight carbonation. It's not sprightly. It's not like champagne-like. It's almost like, from a distance, you want to say, oh, that's kind of undercarbed, but no. It's like a tight carbonation. It kind of lends itself to being a little bit more drinkable. Perfect for a Belgian single beer. There's a soft kind of creaminess to it, too. That's your kind of unfiltered at work. There has to be some wheat in here. That's probably the biggest thing that separates this from what I typically get from a lot of Belgian single beers. Again, not that they're not using wheat, but this tends to be a little bit more wheat heavy. Maybe that's why I was getting kind of the wheat beer vibes in the actual nose, but it doesn't really come off super weedy in the actual taste. It's more of a mouthfeel thing. That soft little kind of cardamom-y kind of spiciness definitely rings true. That bubblegum banana thing kind of steps back a little bit, doesn't get off too huge in the actual taste. And one of my favorite things about Belgian singles is there's always this little itty bitty snappy little tart thing. It always floats around at the end. It's not sour. It's just this tartness that's really snappy. It's not like, and by snappy, I mean like it's not like this lingering kind of tartness that you're like, is that gonna be kind of sour? It's more like you concentrated a bunch of Brett characteristics at the tail end of the finish that was like, hey, Brett's here, gone. It gives you that. And a cool little snappiness, which is almost universal throughout all Belgian singles. This is really tasty stuff. I mean, this is the kind of beer where, I mean, let's put a pause on everything right now. Listen, I already said from the get, Belgian singles are one of my favorite styles of all time. You guys know, if you watch the channel, I love low ABV, well-made, chuggable beers. This is Merriam-Webster dictionary version of that. So, this is my wheelhouse beer. So keep that in mind. Going into this, there was a good chance if it was well-made, I was really going to dig it. But this is the kind of beer that, like, if I go to a brewery, like, for example, like Knot Hill. If I go to Knot Hill for, whatever, the first time, I haven't been there yet, but let's say I go there and I'm with friends and I'm not driving. That's very important, and I'm not driving in this scenario. And then we decide to kind of plug in for an afternoon, and let's say they have like 20 beers on draft. I'd probably order a pint when I got there. It'd probably be this beer. And then I'd probably like, give me another pint of something else low ABV. And then I go, shit. I'm like, I kind of want to try all their stuff, but I don't want to keep crushing pints, because then I'm just going to be stupid dumb, like, out of it drunk. So then I'll be an asshole and I'll order a flight, because I hate fucking flights, but sometimes I do them just because I want to try a bunch of stuff. And then I'll do like a flight or two, so I'll rip through like 10 or so beers. And then, everybody's like, let's hang out for another hour or two. I'll be like, okay, and then I'll drink pints of this for the next hour or so. That's kind of where this beer lands for me. And that it's never going to be the one that kind of steals the show for me, but it's always going to be the beer, viscerally, like knee-jerk, kind of steal the show. But this is the kind of beer where after me and my buddies leave, and I'm slumping in the back seat a little bit too tipsy, and we start talking about what beers we like the most, I'll just be like, the Belgian single, man. I'm like, this one was awesome over here. It had this electrifying fucking coffee profile. This one over here is top the craziness. But I really just want to drink that Belgian single the whole time. That's what this beer is to me. What does that mean? It means I really like it. Let's cut to the chase. I mean, there's really not much else to talk about when it comes to the beer. I'll be the douchebag that defines the word with the actual beer in the definition. It tastes like a Belgian single. The nose is a little bit different, comes off a little bit soft wheat-like, but it rings very true in the taste. That little snappy kind of tartness in the end really just brings it home in the upper echelon level. Is this one of the better ones I've had as of late? Yes, it's up there. As of late, maybe not all time, but as of late, by far, this is like first carve Mount Rushmore status for Belgian singles. I just, not a lot of people make them, so it kind of defaults towards the top, but even with that in mind, it's still absolutely fantastic stuff. Value and availability, I have no idea how Knot Hill rolls nowadays. I'm pretty sure their stuff is brewery only, but I assume some of it drips out of the brewery, who knows. And leave you with, if you like what we like this beer, if you like low ABV crushers, you like hazies, but you want something that is more kind of getting into your kind of Brett level kind of citrus, as opposed to kind of like a hop forward kind of citrus. You like chuggers, you like Belgian singles, you like well-made beer. Maybe that's the best way to kind of end it off, because it's well-made and it's beer and it's delicious. So there you go. Another review in the books. Thank you very much, Tyler. This is fucking excellent. So hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. If you didn't, anywhere in between, down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive. Want to check me out doing the burps and the whole podcasting thing. Man, give me the burps. All the burps. So hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of Belgian single right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers.